Hello, and welcome to this quick tutorial for how to onboard a Cisco Meraki MS-series Ethernet switch onto the Cisco Meraki portal and then integrate it in with the rXg. First, log on to the Cisco Meraki portal. In this configuration, you can see I've already created a network. In this case, I'm using JMB switch network. Under switching and switches, there are no switches currently in this network. So I'm going to click Add Switch. This switch has previously been claimed or onboarded to the Meraki cloud, so I can select this right here and click Add Switches. If your switch has not already been onboarded into the Meraki cloud, you can click the claim link right here, enter in the serial number of your Meraki switch, which is located on the rear of the switch, and then claim it. We don't need to do that here since it's already in the Meraki cloud, so we'll simply hit Add Switch. Going back to switching and switches, we can see that this switch has been onboarded to the Meraki cloud, and it has this MAC address. Currently, the switch is not online because it is most likely trying to attempt to contact the Meraki cloud. After a few minutes, the Meraki MS-series switch has had an opportunity to contact the cloud and is shown as online, indicated by this green circle next to the MAC address of the switch. A couple items of interest that will be needed to configure the rXg for the Meraki series switch is the LAN IP address. In this case, it's 192.168.5.10, and also the serial number. You can see in this view that the switch is in an unconfigured state with port 1 connected, and also every port is in an unconfigured state of trunking VLAN native 1. Next, we need to obtain an API key so that the rXg can talk to the Meraki cloud in a trusted manner. Click this icon and select My Profile. Scroll down until you find the API access portion and select Generate New API Key. Copy this key to a safe space. Click I have stored my new API key and click Done. It is important that you save the API key because it's not possible to get it back. However, it is quite easy to generate a new API key by clicking this Generate New API Key button. To add the Meraki MS-series switch to be controlled by the rXg, navigate to Networks Wired. Under Switches, select Create New. Give the switch a name. In this case, I am going to call it a Meraki MS210-24P. Of type, select Meraki MS. The host is the IP address of the switch, which is 192.168.5.10. The serial number is the serial number that was located in the Meraki dashboard. Username can stay admin. The password, however, is the API key that we created and retrieved out of the Meraki dashboard. And then click Create. After a few moments, you will see that the rXg has determined that this Meraki MS-series switch is online. It has imported the model number. It indicates the version of firmware that the Meraki MS-series switch is running. And it has also queried via SNMP the ports of the Meraki switch and imported them in the switch port scaffold as seen right here. The next step to configuring the Meraki MS-series switches is to enable config synchronization, which allows the rXg to make changes to the Meraki MS-series switches. This is quite simple by clicking the Sync Not Enabled action link, generating a diff, which creates the difference of the database of the rXg to the Meraki MS-series switches. In this case, no changes are required since this is a very basic configuration that has no modifications. Click Enable Config Synchronization, click OK, and we see the configuration is now synchronized. It's quite simple to make modifications to switch ports in the rXg to the Meraki MS-series switches. For example, create a switch port profile. We'll call it untagged for VLAN 2 and tagged for VLAN 100 through 199. We will assign this switch port profile to port 2 on the Meraki switch. The untagged VLAN we will make 2. The tagged VLAN we will select an auto increment VLAN of 100 to 199. And we hit create. We will refresh the page and see that a config sync is in progress. After a few moments, the configuration has synchronized successfully as indicated by a green checkbox, and when you float over the synchronization date, you see last sync successful. If we go to the Meraki portal and refresh the page for our switch, click on port 2, we will see this configuration has been synchronized, that now the native VLAN is 2 and the allowed VLANs are 100 through 199. Other changes we can make is renaming the switch ports. So instead of this name of port 2 or just 2, and we can see that it's associated with the switch port profile of untagged VLAN 2 and tagged VLAN 100 to 199, we may give it something more meaningful, such as VM server 01. So now the name in the switch port list is VM server 01. We can see that a sync attempt is in progress. It has succeeded. And now we can refresh the Meraki portal and see that the switch port has been updated to VM server 01, as seen when you float over switch port 2. It's quite simple to apply this switch port profile to multiple switch ports. For example, instead of just port 2, if we wanted to make it switch port 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in addition to 2, we simply select all the extra switch ports, click update, and synchronization is in progress. The sync has succeeded. We'll refresh the switch port page, and if we hover over these ports, we can see that every single port that we selected is in native VLAN 2 and has VLAN 100 through 199 tagged on it. This concludes a brief introduction of how to configure a Meraki MS-series cloud-managed switch with the RGNet's rXg. I hope you found this basic introduction valuable, and be sure to follow our channel for future rXg device integration videos.